Hey guys, it's me, Poppy Rain here, and today we're going to be reviewing inspirational movies. The first one we're going to be reviewing, you've heard a lot about the author that wrote the book. I've talked about her in a couple of my book videos, if you've watched those, because I love her books. This is by, the book is called My Sister's Keeper, by, what the heck is it, Jodi Picoult. I insisted on reading the book before I watched the movie. My mom really wanted to take me to see the movie because she wanted to see it as well. This has Cameron Diaz and Abigail Breslin. Love them. Cameron Diaz, I don't super love her. Abigail Breslin's super cute, though. Love her. Basically, Abigail Breslin was born to be a donor baby for her sister that has cancer. And she doesn't want to do it anymore. She gets sick and tired of it. So she decides to get medically emancipated. To find a lawyer to medically emancipate her. This is a really good movie, but I don't like it as good as the book. I highly recommend reading the book, because they leave out a bunch of characters in the movie. And the brother's character is different in the movie than he is in the book. And, like, in the movie there's no guardian ad litem, but there is in the movie, or in the book. And the ending is completely different in the movie than in the book. It has Alec Baldwin in it. It's got a lot of really good people in it. Fun fact, guys, did you know Alec Baldwin actually got kicked off an airplane once? Because he refused to put his phone on airplane mode? Fun fact. So I highly recommend this. Another inspirational movie that I have that's based on a true story. This is based on the story of Bethany Hamilton. This is Soul Surfer. This has some great characters in it. It's got Helen Hunt, Lorraine Nicholson, I don't know who that is. Anna Sophia Robb plays Bethany Hamilton. Dennis Quaid plays the dad. Carrie Underwood plays their pastor. Helen Hunt plays the mom. This is a Blu-ray. Blue DVD Blu-ray pack. This is a story. Bethany was out surfing. She got bit by a shark. And when she got bit, she lost her arm. Obviously not that arm, but her other arm in the process. And her whole journey of dealing with being a surfer with only one arm and, like, her whole story. She's actually a really incredible person. I subscribe to her. I follow her her Facebook page. She's actually pregnant with her second or third child now. She's married. She's a really good Christian. I want to watch a documentary on her. I can't remember what it's called, but it's on Netflix. And Soul Surfer is also on Netflix if you want to watch it. Highly recommend. I don't know if you've ever seen that. That's really good. This next one is based on a true story as well. This is called Heaven is for Real. I'm trying to think, what is the name of the family? The Burpo family. His son got really sick, Colton. He ends up in the hospital. I kind of like the book better than the movie because the book is more, I think, true to their actual story than the movie is. Because, like, he ended up being, like, wheelchair bound and stuff. And he had, in the movie, or in the book, he had the Superman surgery, I guess it's called. Who was the guy, what was his name? The dude that who was the dude that played Superman? I can't think of his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about, if you know anything about Superman. The guy that played Superman, he ended up in the wheelchair. Google it. What the heck is his name? It's gonna bother me now.
Like, am I Googling?
Who played Superman? What was the name of the guy in the wheelchair that played Superman? Because I spent half of the Star Wars video, if you guys watch my video on Star Wars, couldn't think of Han Solo. Super annoying. What is his name?
Henry Cavill?
No.
That's who came up when I said who plays Superman.
The guy in the wheelchair. I think he played Superman. Christopher something or other? Not Christopher Reeves. What was his name? The guy in the wheelchair. I think he played Superman. The guy in the wheelchair. You know who I'm talking about?
Are you thinking X-Men?
No. What the heck is his name? Who played Superman that's in a wheelchair? What the fuck is his name? He wasn't in a wheelchair when he played Superman. He's done a lot of sci-fi shows.
Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, okay, that is his name. Christopher Reeves, thank you. I was right.
He died at 52 years old.
Yeah, he did a bunch of sci-fi shows. Yeah, he had the same, it's called the Superman surgery, because he played Superman. Yes, he had the Superman surgery. He basically got really sick, and when he was sick, he ended up dying and going to heaven. And like he tells his parents the whole story, they don't believe him. Because his dad's a pastor, they just assume it's things that he had heard from his dad as a pastor, that he had heard in church. But he ends up telling his mom. He asks his mom about a little sister. Or an older sister. And his mom's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I met my sister. And his parents had never told him that she had miscarried. And they didn't know she had miscarried before they found out what it was. So they didn't know that they had a little girl. And then also, there was another little girl that had claimed she'd gone to heaven. And she had painted a picture of what Jesus looked like. And he's like, yeah. He's like, he saw the picture and he's like, that's what Jesus looked like. So if you're a Christian and you're into that kind of stuff, highly recommend. That was really good. Another inspirational movie that's really good. Again, this is another Abigail Breslin movie. It has Abigail Breslin. And you wouldn't know any of these other people. James Gardner. Oh, I meant James Gardner. Brian Denny, Bill Cobb, and Drew Fuller. Basically, this guy's character, I can't remember if it was his uncle or like his great uncle. Oh, his grandfather. Okay, when his grandfather, he's a spoiled rich kid. When his grandfather dies, he leaves him an inheritance. And that's all he cares about is the inheritance from his grandpa. Well, his grandpa leaves him these series of tasks he has to do in order to get his inheritance. He calls them gifts. So like he has to do things like work on a farm. He gets everything taken from him and has to live on a park bench. He has to befriend someone, I think, at a park. He ends up befriending her and her mom. She's got cancer. And it's like the whole story of how he comes to get his inheritance and how it changes him as a person. So that's really good. Another inspirational Christian movie. This has Jennifer Gardner in it, who I really like. Jennifer Gardner. She was in 13 Going on 30. I can't think what else Jennifer Gardner was in at this current moment. It has Queen Latifah, who's been in a lot of movies. This is based on a true story. This little girl suddenly gets really sick. She's 10. She has a rare disease. They go all over the country trying to figure out what it is. Nobody can figure it out. There's no cure for this disease, nothing. And she ends up falling into a tree. And I'm not going to tell you what happens when she falls into the tree. But it ends up changing her life. And you'll have to watch the movie to figure out what happens when she falls in the tree. But it says, based on the incredible true story of the Beam family, when Christy discovers her 10-year-old daughter, Anna, has a rare, incurable disease, she becomes a ferocious advocate for her daughter's healing. As she searches for a solution, after Hannah has a freak accident, an extraordinary miracle unfolds in the wake of her dramatic rescue. that leaves medical specialists mystified, her family restored, and the community inspired. And they're like hardcore, down-to-earth Christians. So that's a really good one if you're religious. Next one we have is Martian Child. It says Joan and John Cusack in it. And Amanda Peet. I don't know who Amanda Peet is, but basically John Cusack's character, he's a single guy. He wants a child. He adopts this child who thinks he's from outer space. And it's like their whole journey. It's kind of like an adoption journey / like trying to connect with this child. The child thinks he's an alien, like, you know, it's the child's way of coping with everything. Like, he's learning how to deal with it in the process, because, you know, this is all new to him, being a father and having a child that's an alien. And, like, how they learn to bond and connect, which is really good. Next we have Here Comes the Boom with Kevin James. You probably know Kevin James from Paul Blart movies. I Love You, Chuck and Larry, or not pronounced Chuck and Larry. What else? King of Queens. Can't think what else Kevin James has been in, but he's been in a lot of stuff. Kevin James used to be an A+ teacher. Then he becomes like really lackluster teacher. Comes in late, whatever. His best friend finds out he's pregnant. His wife is pregnant. They're having a baby. And the school has to cut budget. So what is the first thing they cut? Sports, art, music. They decide to cut the music program. And his best friend is the music teacher. So in order to save his job, he becomes a ultimate wrestler. To raise money. Oh, mixed martial art fighter, sorry. To raise money to help his friend keep his job. Like their whole story. It was really inspirational to me. The dad is, and he gets a lot of help from the school nurse. Henry Winkler's dad. You've seen him in a lot of stuff, most likely, too. And like this was really inspirational to me at the time when I watched it, because I was in school. I was in college and I was going to become a kindergarten teacher after working in it. Well, then halfway through I decided preschool teacher, and I student taught for 2 semesters. I observed in a kindergarten classroom and then student taught the next semester in that classroom, and kindergarten is not for me. I decided preschool is not for me, and I like the toddler age, so I work at the toddler room. That was really inspirational. The last inspirational movie we have that's based on a true story, starring Hilary Swank, is Freedom Writers. This is a girl, she got big hopes and dreams. She goes into an inner city school trying to help kids. And she tries to help them come together. Because the Latinos don't like the whites don't like the blacks, and like this, that, the other. Like everyone's all segregated based on their groups and whatever. And like the Mexicans don't like the Latinos, and Latinos are Mexicans, never mind. They don't like the Asian people, and so on and so forth. And she like helps them become one big family, and like a lot of them, you know, rough home lives and whatever. And she does this whole thing through the Anne Frank story that really helps them. So I highly recommend. It's based on a true story. And that's all I have for inspirational movies. I'm gonna go. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.